good morning, folks, and happy Friday. Well, it's amazing how quickly these weeks go by. It just seems like you blink and it's another week or another month. So, anyways. Well, off we are into our scene. See how we're doing. We'll just get right in so we can get done what needs to get done. So, let's see here. We will. All right. So, let's go to full size. We'll do solid brush, inking brush, and there we go. So we're using this solid inking brush in Rough Animator here. That's found over here on the left side. When you touch the brush and you touch up here, you get a selection of brushes. The top one that I'm using is a solid brush, and that gives you a solid line, which is what I'm using to put the dark ink line on Nora. And Rough Animator doesn't have a setting for palettes. Some animation programs will actually, like Toon Boom, I believe, has one that will actually, you can customize it to the character. So, like for instance, if you've got a certain character, and that character has certain colors, you can customize your palette so that it remembers all the colors that you're using on that character, which can be very handy. It's a good thing to have. So I don't have that. We don't have it in Rough Animator, to my knowledge. Anyway, I don't think we have it. I mean, they are always updating software, so I don't know everything about the software. I know enough to do what I'm doing, but I might be wrong about something. So yeah, I've been wrong before, and so no biggie. I'm learning just as well as anyone else, but I'm also helping you to do your own stuff as well. So we're helping each other. Exactly. There we go. Okay. In some cases, I think is remembering the colors in some ways is actually faster than having something to tell you what the colors are. But, I mean, obviously, if you're working in a system where there's more than one person working on the scene, then having a way to identify those colors is much more important than, just remembering. So, but in this case, where, you all are doing your own films, and a lot of times you're doing everything yourself. So in a case like that, then of course, yeah, you could remember, which is what I'm doing here. I'm remembering the colors that I'm using. So yeah, saves me some time. And if I forget, all I've got to do is flip back to the previous drawing. Like I can just go backwards here and look at it. It's like, oh yeah, it's that color or whatever. You know. So it's the measure that I use to keep myself on point. Let's see. My daughter in the background. Let's see. Line tool. Right. There's also a setting working your line behind or in front, colors behind or in front. Also, as a setting on your palette here, which is very handy. There might be some things that are not that important, but only you can determine if that's the case with your particular film, whether you think it's important to have a line or a color work underneath or on top of a character. So that's a personal decision, I think. Yeah. Okay. Okay. On to the color. Let's see. I always have to watch out for those little areas where the color doesn't completely fill an area. And so I have to look really carefully to make sure that the area is filled. Yeah. Yeah, you have to look really closely too sometimes just to see the areas where the paint doesn't quite fill an area. But if you look tight closely, you'll see it eventually. Sometimes there's also lines and things you don't put in that should be there, like what I just put in just now with the jumper. He's got a purple jumper. Well, he's got a strap on the jumper, which the line wasn't completely colored in. So I had to go back and do it manually. There we go. There we go. Yeah, some stuff it's like you just can't see it until you paint it. It just takes a moment to check it. But I guess the thing, like I said before, the thing that really amazes me about color is how it solidifies the animations. Like as you're looking at, sort of bring this back up to full size. We'll save this. Um, and it's just the animation just looks more solid, or the characters feel like they have more weight when they're moving and when they're in color. It's remarkable. All the years I've been doing this, it's just I'm amazed. Every time I see the final product, it's just wonderful. Animation is it's like doing it and creating it and seeing the finished thing. In a sense, it's actually, I guess you could say, it is its own reward. It's like seeing something get finished. All of the time and effort that you put in to make it. That's the thing that I guess I miss the most about a lot of things today is that people are so interested in doing things so quickly. And I have to ask, where's the joy in actually making something? Why does everything have to be rushed through? Why can't we take a little time, and do a good job? Make something with some quality. Put your heart in it. Because you can always tell. Some people are very talented and they can just do something, you know, fast and do it really well. And because God has talented them to do it that way. But even a talented person still will want to take time to do a nice job on something. I mean, you think of the great artists of yesteryear and you look at the beautiful works that some of them did. And I think there's a joy. Well, I think there's a joy. There is a joy. I know there's a joy in creating something. And, especially when you finished it, and you're able to sit back and look at what you actually did. And there's a real joy in that, I think. So I think sometimes we're missing out on the beauty of the time that it takes to actually make something good. That's right, Nina. What you said. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Put that on top. There we go. Yeah, when I think of the great Disney films of yesteryear, I can't help but to think like, sure, those films took a lot of time to make, and the quality of the animation, everything, is really way up there. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, well, that's why we like it. That's why these great old movies are so meaningful to us, is that the love and the passion that was put into making these things. You really see it on the screen, in the final product, you know, or you listen to a beautiful piece of music or, whatever. And there's a certain level of appreciation that comes with that, I think. That the only way you can really have it is by taking the time, to do a good job, and not being concerned about the fact that, well, that's going to take me, uh, you know, 3 days to do that, or that's going to take me, whatever, a week or whatever. It's like, well, okay, so it takes you a week, but if at the end of that week you've got something that is meaningful, I mean, I think that's much more important even than what you're actually creating, you know, I think. Let's see. Well, let's see this one here. I think we might be able to, let's try this. We'll go. I think we can grab Lenny's head, copy, paste. There we go. There we go. Line it up. There we go. Then, let's see here. Bring the eraser size down. There we go. All right. Let's see. All right. Let me go to fit the window. Move this over. Can see Lenny better. So behind. Okay. Go center these eyes down. Go. So here was a situation where I was able to um, use uh, the I was able to use the behind, yeah, use the drawing, the color drawing, and I could just copy it. So instead of having to um, trace it, I was able to just copy it. So yeah, yeah, if you can do that, then that's a good way to go. Oops. Because it's faster. And the quality, you're not losing any quality. Let's see. Okay, we'll go with line tool. I'm going to put that on top. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Bring this to there. Okay. All right. So let's finish off. So I got Norse hair. Black. Right. Uh, let's all right. Check back one. That's right. Okay. Hands. Um, Purple on the shirt. Say, I think that's okay because of the. Yeah, I think that looks all right. All right. Look, I think they are in blue. I think. See if I remembered it correctly. Yes. Okay. Safe. All right. Let's see. We are at frame 55 out of 90. Not bad. Not bad. Save. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'll be done soon. All right, then we'll stop. So, all right. So, hey, have a great week, folks. Once again, I'll see you guys next Monday. I always take the weekend off. Make sure you get some rest. God created the Sabbath for man. So the idea is that if God's going to rest, we should rest. So he set an example. All right, have a good weekend, folks. I'll see you guys next week. And don't forget, Jesus is Lord.